In the summer of 1518, in the city of Strasbourg, a woman stepped into the street and began to dance. No music, no festival, no audience. She just started dancing and didn't stop for hours, then days. And within a week, dozens joined her. Some collapsed, some convulsed, and some died. This isn't folklore, this isn't metaphor, this actually happened. And to this day, we're still not entirely sure why. This is the dancing plague of 1518. The woman's name was Fra Trophia. Witnesses say she walked into the street and began moving to a rhythm no one else could hear. Jerking, twirling, spinning, with no sign of stopping. People gathered, watched, then left. But when they came back hours later, she was still dancing. And by the third day, her feet were bleeding. She looked exhausted, but she kept moving. And within a week, 34 people had joined her. And by the end of the month, that number climbed to 400. Now, this was not a flash mob. There were no TikToks in the 1500s. Something was happening, and it was horrifying. Strasbourg was part of the Holy Roman Empire, a city full of devout people, rigid class lines, and brutal superstition. People thought a few things: a punishment from Saint Vitus, the patron saint of dancing, possession, witchcraft, or divine madness. So how did the city respond? They didn't isolate them. They didn't even try to stop the dancers. They built them a stage. Yes, seriously. They cleared out the town square, hired musicians, and encouraged the dancers to keep going. The logic? If they want to dance, let them dance it out. Spoiler, it didn't help. People began to collapse. Some suffered heart attacks, others died of exhaustion or stroke. Reports say that many dancers cried out in agony, begging to stop, but couldn't. They twitched in rhythm, shuffled uncontrollably, even in their sleep. It spread from the town square and to homes, alleyways, even churches. Strasbourg became a kind of open-air horror show. And then, just as quickly as it began, it stopped. And by late August, the madness had faded. The dancers either recovered or died, and the city never saw anything like it again. Historians and scientists have tried for centuries to explain the dancing plague. Now let's dive into some theories. Theory number 1, ergot poisoning, a fungus that grows on rye and causes hallucinations. Basically LSD's chemical ancestor. But that wouldn't last weeks or be contagious. Theory number 2, mass hysteria. The stress of famine, disease, and religious fear created a shared psychosis. Basically, trauma so intense it went viral. And theory number 3, choreomania. A known phenomenon in medieval Europe where groups would dance uncontrollably, usually tied to religious fervor or panic. But here's the thing. None of these theories fully explain why it started or why it stopped so suddenly, or why so many died. The dancing plague reminds us that history isn't always logical, and the human mind can break in mysterious ways. Some historians say this wasn't just a plague, it was a mirror reflecting a world full of fear, uncertainty, and repression. A kind of silent scream turned into movement. A moment when an entire city broke down together in rhythm. So, next time someone says history is boring, just tell them about the time hundreds of people danced until they died. And seriously, that happened.